you're such a good sport. Okay. It said, would you consider your drug problem as getting out of hand? Why or why not? Like, did your drug problem get out of hand? Yes or no?
Definitely. It got way out of hand because I ended up in jail. Not only once, but twice. Oh, numerous times, but 2 times for 7 months.
Okay. It says, what was jail like?
Horrible. Oh my gosh. So horrible. The first time I went, it was in a different tower. It's in Las Vegas. And South Tower was kind of like Camp Snoopy. Oh, it was no big deal. And I got out and I did the same stuff. This time it kind of scared me straight because I was in a single cell. I got out maybe 3 hours, if I was lucky, a day. I was around murderers and the craziest of people. And then towards the last 30 days, I started becoming a worker. So I was serving the killers food, and so it was just crazy. Yeah, not a place you want to go, definitely.
It says, what was the hardest part about jail?
Being locked behind a closed door for pretty much 24 hours a day for so long.
It says, who got you started taking drugs?
I would say my friends and boyfriends, definitely.
Which drug did you start with?
Speed.
Okay. It says, what is the worst reaction you've ever had to a drug?
When I was in jail this last time, there's cots that you go on before they house you or whatever, and this girl, she had crack cocaine in her hair, like little baggies, and I was like, oh, give me some of that. So I guess you're not supposed to snort crack cocaine, I guess you're just supposed to smoke it. Well, I didn't know that, so I just crushed it up, I went in the bathroom and I snorted it, and I started hallucinating like you don't even know. I thought I was seeing people walk through the walls. I envisioned myself leaving the jail and going on a game show and winning $200,000. I called my dad and said, Dad, you need to put money on my books. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, no, don't lie because I know. It was just horrible. I thought the girls next to me had my cell phone. You don't have cell phones in jail. You don't have anything in jail. So, yeah, that was the trippiest. So crazy.
It says, my dad is doing meth, and I'm sure countless other drugs. It really seems like he doesn't care about anyone but himself. It hurts to keep trying. Is there anything I can do or should do in this position?
When I was on meth, there really wasn't anything anybody could do because it's kind of up to the person when they want to change or when they've had enough with their life experiences, because I know until this last time I went to jail, and now I'm 34, I'm too old to be doing all this stuff, and plus it was so unhealthy, everything. The only thing I could suggest is be a good example. Be a good example to your dad, because that's all that I think would work, because my sister, one of my younger sisters, she's so on pills right now, and I got out of jail and I went to her house and she was crunching up Roxy's and Xanax and passing them around. I was like, no, I'm cool. And I saw her look at me like, really? Because I've never turned down a drug, like, ever. Like, this was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And so, and then I went upstairs and she took out the last pipe. I was like, really? Oh my gosh, I'm cool. And then she called my mom before I even got home. She's like, Mom, I am so proud of Amber. And just to see that maybe she stepped back and took a look at, wow, something I did. You know, like, just be a good example. It's the only thing you can really do.
It says, what drug would you say has had the biggest impact on your life?
I would say pain pills, because I liked it so much. I had gotten in a car accident, broke my back in 6 places, so that's what started me on it. That's always been my crutch, to use pain pills. If you don't have pain, then you start liking if you have an emotional pain, it numbs everything, and it's a good feeling, but then it gets to be too good, and things that are too good just aren't really true. You know what I'm saying? I guess that makes sense, right?
It says, what's your biggest regret?
Not being in my son's life for 9 years, and he's 10, so.
Okay, it says, what was going through your mind when you were, like, high or when you were addicted? Like, what was going through your mind when, yeah?
So much. I was out there doing the most. how I was going to get money to buy the drug. It was always focused on the drug, so I didn't really think about anything that was really important, like my family or my son or good friends and this and that. I told the class before, I said, it kind of stunted my growth when I started doing drugs when I was about 17. And I feel right now, I'm 34, I feel like I'm about 18, 19. I just got out of jail and I was so ecstatic that I just found out what Facebook was. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I have 197 friends in 1 week. It was so rad. And it kind of, you know, I'm kind of back in high school, junior, I mean, and it's going to take a lot of me growing out of it to learn how to be a mom and a functioning 34-year-old. 34, really? I cannot believe it. Anyways, yeah, it really does stunt your mental growth, and it's scary, you know.
So have you had any friends that have died because of drugs?
Yes, lots. My ex-boyfriend, Chance, really big dude. He was very reckless, took all sorts of pills. He died of an overdose from methadone and Valium. A friend, John Rowe, they found him in a car with a needle in his arm. He was slipping heroin. A lot of people, definitely. A lot of people.
So have you ever been hospitalized because of drugs?
Yep. I was all tweaking, and I planned a trip to Tijuana to go buy some pills, and I got a whole bunch of pills, put them in the car. We came back, 6 of us. And we were driving back, and the girl, Brianna, she fell asleep at the wheel going 110 miles per hour, sideswiped a car, flipped 5 times. We all flew out the window. I got my spleen removed, and I broke my back in 6 places. I was this close to being paralyzed. We were all fight for life. We all lived, but yeah, I was hospitalized. And then I got hit by a car walking across the street, broke my shoulder, my sternum, and my toe. And I woke up at the hospital with a jaywalking ticket. I could go on and on. It's just crazy.
Says, what do you think, it says, teachers always say that drugs lead to other things. What do you think led to other things?
Drugs do lead to other things, a lot of other things. I mean, immorality, doing anything you have to do for money. I've seen drugs don't lead to bigger, better things. They lead to worse. It's a choice. Either you do drugs and lead a bad life, because it's obvious drugs are bad, or, you know, but I don't know why I chose to be bad. Kind of sucks, but I did, and I learned the hard way, which, please, it's not fun to learn the hard way at all. I mean, jail and this and that. I was held up at gunpoint numerous times, and it was just, drugs make you think recklessly.
Says, what was your wake-up call?
I have to say jail, and that shouldn't have been my wake-up call, because I almost died like 4 times. That should have been my wake-up call. But I think I just had enough, and jail kind of said, hey.
Have you ever tried ecstasy, and what was it like?
No, I never tried ecstasy. One thing I never tried.
It says, when did you realize you had a problem?
When I would wake up and I'd need the pills, or I'd feel sick, or I'd need the drug, or I'd be sick. That was horrible.
It says, what are withdrawal symptoms like from pain pills?
Oh my gosh. Throwing up, diarrhea, just the grossest, horriblest feeling. And right now I can't believe I'm not on painkillers, and it's just pinched me because I can't believe it. I never thought, and I feel better than I have ever. It's great. I can't believe it, actually.
It says, before you did drugs or had alcohol, did you ever think you would, or was it a spur-of-the-moment type of thing that became an addiction?
It was definitely a spur-of-the-moment type of thing, because growing up in a Mormon family, this and that, I never thought, oh, no, never. I made fun of the girls walking down the street. I don't know if you guys been to Las Vegas, but on Tropicana, little girls in short skirts walking down. I made fun of all these girls and all the drug users and the guys. I don't know. It just all. It was spur of the moment. I was in the desert listening to band music, and my boyfriend's, here's a beer, and that's when it started, I guess. So.
It says, how many times have you gone to rehab?
Can't even count. No, like 3, 4.
At least. It says, how many pills would you usually take a day?
20, maybe 30. But that was Soma, Xanax, Roxy's, Lortabs, methadone. I was crazy.
This is how much alcohol would you usually drink?
I woke up to a bottle of rum or Bacardi every day. Then I got tired of the Bacardi, so I went to the big bottles of Jack Daniels, and I just, oh my gosh, I was huge.
And if you guys have extra questions, you want to just come and put them up here, you're welcome to. It says, what did you do to get the money for the drugs?
Anything and everything. This last time I went to jail, I was at Motel 6, and I pushed open a door to these guys, these Czechoslovakian guys sleeping, and I saw their laptop and everything sitting out, so I grabbed it and ran out. And unfortunately, they chased after me, and I fell into a security officer's room, and it was all bad from there on out. But I would rob and steal, and pretty much, do you think of the worst thing you could do to get money? And I did it, so I'm not proud of it at all, but that's what I did.
It says, why is it so easy to get drugs if there's such a problem getting addicted? Like, it says painkillers. Why is it so easy to get drugs, painkillers?
You can pretty much go to any doctor, and for the most part, all the doctor's got to do is write a prescription. It's not hard on their part, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. That's kind of, it's mainly.
It says, what was the worst thing you ever did to get drugs?
Just ask that question. No, just think of the worst and it's been done, so.
It says, what are the girls like in jail? Are they rude or are they cool?
Some are cool, some are so ghetto. Most of them are gay for the stay, they say. Yeah, there's just, half of them have good families, half of them don't have any families. It's a 50-50 type thing.
I have a question. It says, are you thankful for the knowledge you have now, or do you wish you could take it all back?
I wish I never did any of this for sure, but I'm grateful that I decided to stop and get my life together. And they say it's never too late. I don't know. It was getting too late, and so I'm glad I stopped, and I know now what I know.
It says, what's your biggest regret of not doing in life? Your biggest regret, something you did not do.
I was not a part of my son's life. He was an amazing football star. I mean, he's just great for 9 years, and I know, I mean, it's hard for you guys to picture having a child and this and that, but when you do, just be the best you could be. I don't know. It's more regret than not wishing, but.
So has a guy ever taken advantage of you while you were on drugs?
I'm sure numerous of times. I woke up so many times not knowing where I was, what I was doing, with my pajamas on or off. So.
It says, what would you say, which drug, if you were to attribute one drug as ruining your life, what would you say it is?
Like I said before, I think the pain pills, because I liked them so much. And I would pretty much do whatever I had to do to make sure I had 10 Roxys before I went to sleep. So I'd wake up with them. When I was living at my mom and dad's house, I'd say I was going to clean houses. I'd make $100, $200, doing I don't even know what. Come back with 10 Roxys, go to sleep. Do the same thing, and then I eventually went to jail.
So have you ever sold drugs?
I mean, I just took them. I tried to sell the pills from Tijuana, and I was so stupid because I had these little pill bottles, and on the pill bottles I'd write the prices. It was just horrible. I went to jail for that too. It's just a never-ending cycle. My poor sister, Leah, she's 30. When I was 30, I was just popping the pills and smoking a little bit of speed here and there. And then when I was 31, it progressed, and before I went to jail, I was slamming speed and popping pills, drinking alcohol, smoking, everything. So.
This says, how did you and Miss Slaughter end up so different?
Oh my gosh. I think she learned what not to do. I don't want to be like her, so she would, which I'm very proud of.
It says, did you ever make your own meth?
No, don't know how.
Let's see. Have you ever been close to going to a psychiatric hospital for drug use?
No, just that one time when I was in jail and I was tripping out thinking my cellies had my phone. They almost took me to psych ward for sure.
has the court ever ordered you to a hospital to get off of drugs? What was the time when you were like saying dead for
I
him?
forgot about that. Well, my mom and dad they knew somebody in the jail, which is just horrible. And I went there for a minute, and then they picked me up there and took me to a rehab. But before, I was so tweaked out before I even realized it was an adolescent center. I was like, hey, I'm 18 years old, I don't need to be here. So I got out and escaped. I've escaped so many times, it's just not fun.
How old were you when you started?
17.
So what makes you want to start now? It's the same thing.
Like I said, I'm getting too old, and I look back at I went to my sister's house, and I just looked at everybody. I was like, oh my gosh, they are so faded and just sloppy looking and just, ugh. I was so proud of myself. And then this cute boy comes in, and he's going to buy pills or whatever, and the pills come around to me with a little straw and everything. I said, no, cool. He looked at me like, hey. I was like, what's up? So I like the good example.
What would you say is the worst part about marijuana?
You know, I've struggled with this because, I have struggled with it because, yes, you can lose some brain cells and become kind of dorky and whatever, and you eat a lot, so it tends to gain you some weight, but it's by far the lesser of the drugs, but it does escalate to other drugs. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't. Some people could be medically prescribed it. It's a whole, I'm struggling with that, so don't ask me that question, but I don't know, it can lead to other things.
We were talking about this and just how your friends, it's more that they do stupid things.
Right, you do more stupid things. I don't think it's necessarily too bad for you, but what you do on it is so dorky.
Dorky. It says, what's the most addicting drug?
Pills by far.
Okay, it says, how do I be a good friend to an addict?
Like I said, just be the best example you can be, because they really, I think friends and brothers and sisters look up to what a good example somebody could set. I've never been a good example. Oh, maybe when I was a cheerleader back in the day, a long time ago, but it's been a long time since I've been a good example. And so now to feel that, it's just like, wow. So if you guys are good examples, just keep being good examples. Don't know what it feels like to not be, to be looked down upon. It's not a good feeling, really.
And the last one is just said, if you had one piece of advice to tell us, what would it be?
Don't do drugs.